Hey folks, I'm George Carey's at GrandSlamOfCurling.com, and someone dropped a bottle here at Prospects Bar in beautiful Oshawa, Ontario. Hey Prospects, how y'all doing today? Woo! Okay, and who's this guy beside me? Look who just walked in. It's Kevin Martin, Olympic champion, Brier champion, world champion, Grand Slam champion, Capital One Cup champion. What haven't you won, Kevin? Oh, you didn't win the World Juniors. You didn't win the World Juniors.
Did not win the World Juniors. That would have been a long time ago.
Is he mic'd up? He's mic'd up, right, guys? Okay,
yep.
Perfect. Yeah, that was a long time ago, eh? Like, we don't want to run old photos of you back in the day or something.
85.
Right, 85, 86. And then, of course, first Brier 1991 with K Park in Hamilton, Ontario, right? That was amazing.
Danny Petrick and Donnie Bartlett.
That's right, the Hitman. Hitman Petrick, big win. And then 92 Albertville Olympics. Right?
That was the start.
That was the start. Just the start of a few Olympics. You've gone to 3 now. Of course, that one was demonstration. And I believe our web guy is throwing up an old photo of Albertville right now.
Wow.
So you can just imagine how pretty you look in that picture.
A lot of hair.
And what have you done since? Wow. Well, Vancouver was just amazing. What I love about these live internet web chats going around the world is that I get to ask the first question.
All right.
So you know, it's been almost a year now. We're coming up to the anniversary.
Yeah, it is.
Of one of your greatest moments, one of the great moments for curling as well. And that's what I want to ask you about. I mean, obviously you're going to be, you know, continuing to love this sport and what Vancouver provided in many different ways for years to come. But what do you think it's helped do for the sport moving forward? You got to be excited about that.
Oh, well, I'm probably more excited about that. Afterwards, it was kind of neat. We had a lot of the kids come to our both the junior bond school we run and the academy, and we had a group come from Seattle that always come, and they were talking about their club had 130 some members before the Olympic Games, and afterwards they had over 3,000 people try to be members. They can only have 600 members, so it's sold out with a waiting list of over 2,000 people. So curling has just really jumped up in countries like the U.S. and Asia, especially Russia, and all through Europe. So that kind of growth is fantastic.
It is, and you've had some experience with Brazilians emailing and trying to get a hold of you. Eh?
The second we get a lot of emails, which is great. Keep them coming. But the second most emails we got from any country, Canada was the first.
Right.
But more than the U.S. or more than any country in Europe, the most emails we received was from Brazil. We had tons of them from Brazil, which is great. So hopefully a lot of people from Brazil are watching this today, and thanks a lot. Keep sending them. We really love to hear from you.
Okay, and we have some questions from you guys in here somewhere. Let's start off with Willow from, look at that, San Francisco.
Willow, San Francisco, you think?
Yeah, Frisco. Question, what is the best thing about being a professional curler? Talk about a can of worms.
Well, we're not professional curlers.
First point.
It's an amateur sport, but we do have money events, but it's still deemed an amateur sport so far. But to travel around, when you get older like myself, the travel and the hotels and the plane rides and all that loses luster. But playing on ice conditions in front of lively crowds, and that's fun. That's fun for me, and I still really enjoy to play in front of a crowd and to play the best teams, like we do around the Grand Slams.
Agreed. Great question, Willow. Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa. Probably French.
Probably French. Let's take a guess.
The Mona Lisa.
This one doesn't have the address sent in. Our IP guys know where they sent them from. But hey, Kevin, Cheryl was asked this when she was in the live chat here. This was at last year's Players Championship in Dawson Creek. We had Cheryl Bernard and tons of Brazilians emailed in. I'm curious to see your answer. Were you nervous playing in front of the Prime Minister of Canada, Stephen Harper? Of course, this would be at the Olympics in Vancouver.
The Prime Minister's been to probably. He's a great sports fan, and I'll bet he's been at 6 or 8 of our games.
Yeah, he has seen you at many different curling events, not just the Olympics.
He shows up, he pops in if we're down east playing and he happens to be in the same city. He'll get a hold of our publicist and we'll get together with him, and he's just a great guy. And I suppose the first, I don't know, he probably wouldn't remember the first time we met, but we met and he wasn't the Prime Minister yet.
Right.
He was leader of the opposition.
Yes,
and
that's right.
At the Halifax airport, and he might not even remember meeting me, but he was well-spoken then and a really nice person. And so, no, I don't get nervous. I really enjoy it when he comes. I just, I really like him. He's a nice person.
And there's been a few celebs here and there that you've met, not just politicians, but, the Hollywood types, some NFL players. Donald Sutherland was watching you in Vancouver as well.
And Gretzky's been to quite a few of our games over the years because he's a real sports fan, not just hockey. And,
that's right.
I really enjoy it too when Wayne's there because I'm such a big Gretzky fan.
Yeah.
And so if he shows up, that's great. And
Let's say happy day after your birthday to Wayne, right?
Yeah,
I believe
that's
he was
right.
50 yesterday, is that right?
he's getting pretty
Another
old.
clink of the glasses for Wayne. Okay, let's go to Everett. This was just emailed in recently. I think you'll like this question.
Okay.
Because there's one man in your curling career, teammates come and go. There's one man who's always been there for you. We're talking about Jules Ocher,
You bet.
your longtime coach. Could you talk about your relationship with Jules? What is his role on the team? Now, you met this guy in school, did you not?
The
Or when you were in
reason,
school?
the reason I went to Nate,
That's Northern Alberta Institute of Technology.
you bet, sorry. It's a college in Edmonton, and the reason I went there was because Jules was the curling coach at that time, and that was 1984, and he was the best curling coach in Canada then. And so that's why I went there, was to curl under his instruction, and he's been my coach ever since. So I guess we're going into the 27th year now.
Wow, 27 years.
His eye for mechanics is clearly the best in the game. Has been and still is. And that is his goal, his role on our team. His mechanics. We get back. We're getting a little sloppy now because we've been curling every week and not practicing enough.
Right.
And so we're getting a little sloppy. We'll get back this week before the provincials and just get back mechanically sound with Jules. And then his other goal, or his other reason on the team would be that he kind of a mediator, I suppose, because we've got everybody's a really strong mind with Johnny, Mo, Mark, and Ben,
Yes.
and myself. We're all very strong-minded A personalities, so you need a mediator in it, and that's Jules' job. But for the most part, for the 27 years, mechanical coach.
The tune-up guy, like a swing coach in golf. maybe.
It's the same as swing coach, yeah. Every day that we pretty much practice with Jules every day that I'm not on the road. And it's about 45 minutes of mechanics and then 45 minutes of the rock actually going to the other end. First 45 minutes of every practice, the rock doesn't go to the other end. It's all mechanics in the hat.
There you go, David. Look at this. 2 45-minute sessions a day, but he's not competing or getting ready to compete. He's trying to run businesses, got a family with 3 kids. If you want to go hard, you can't go home. You got to go to the curling club.
There you go, curling club. Yeah, drive your family nuts.
Yes. Let's take a question from the crowd. Who's got a question for Kevin here? Come on forward, my dear. Come on over. Come on over. Come right here. What's your name, my dear?
Lorna.
This
Hi,
is Lorna.
Lorna.
Kevin? Lorna. Lorna.
Nice to
Kevin.
meet you.
What's your question for Kevin?
I'm from the Whitby Curling Club, and I would like to invite you to the Whitby Curling Club to give us a lecture on strategy.
And strategy.
Oh, now when would this be, my dear? While he's in town, obviously?
It's free. Anytime
Strategy.
he's
Kevin,
free.
these ladies do not know what's going on anymore.
That's funny, no,
Is it
strategy.
the free guard zone that baffles you?
That brings up a really good point.
Well, here we go.
In teaching, in teaching curling,
Right.
The toughest thing, and Rob Krebs, who's a CCA coach, and myself, we put on the academy in the summer. And the most difficult thing to teach in our sport is strategy, because it's a chess game, and so you make 2 or 3 moves, there's 4 options. Well, if you make 2 or 3 other moves, there's 4 totally different options.
That's right.
So it's all about when do you punt, like when do you bail, how far down the road do you go before you decide to go aggressive or not. And that's the real tough thing, is how many rocks do you go depending on the level of your team before you have to bail out of trouble, before you see the big trap closing on you.
We
That's-
need your help.
That's hard to do, you bet. But that's a great question, because that's the toughest part of learning our sport is strategy, because
Well, there's
it
so
is
many.
there's chess on
There's
ice.
so many elements to strategy, and you touched on an interesting point there, which is that a book may say do this, or Kevin Martin may suggest you throw this at this point in the game, but who's throwing it on your team? What's his or her strengths or weaknesses? Sometimes you can't go in that direction at all, and that's one of these other elements Kevin was talking about. All right.
That's true.
Great. Okay. We'll see
Great
you at the
question.
Whitby Curling Club.
All right,
Sounds
well, it's a
good.
done deal. He's going to Whitby Curling Club. Guys, we're going to Whitby. Hurry up and finish your chicken wings. No, I'm
Thanks,
kidding.
Lorna.
Thanks, Lorna. That's a great question. Guys, we wrapping it up? Are we out of time here? Yeah, I think these guys got to eat. I think they got to do an autograph session at the Gold Line booth. That's right. Anyone here wants autographs from Team Martin? Autograph a brush, autograph some stuff. They'll have, what? You have photo things to hand out or
Yeah,
something
we're
like
going
that?
to the Gold Line booth.
Gold Line booth right here at the General Motors Center is probably
okay.
out back of the arena.
I think it starts at 4:30. I think.
Kevin
yeah.
Martin 1-1. He just won a squeaker against Rob Fowler, and he's heading into battle with
Rob
the
had us
pants. Rob, you admit it.
Rob
Rob
had
had
us
you beat, eh?
He played great, and he should have won, but just the last one went a little far.
That's right. And so it's another life for Kevin. Not down with 2 losses yet. He is in an Olympic rematch tonight. You don't want to miss it, folks. There's no TV, so you got to go to GrandSlamCurling.com and watch the live scoring. But watch for more behind-the-scenes videos. If you missed this chat, maybe you're watching it on repeat. Thank you, Kevin.
Awesome. Thanks, George.
Thanks to all those
Thanks,
who submitted
everybody.
questions around the world. Appreciate it,
Gotcha.
folks. And you're watching GrandSlamCurling.com. Don't forget, Jeff Stoughton tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Say bye, Kevin.
See you guys.